welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss with you why I think the INEOS Grenadier is the McLaren F1 of SUVs and utility vehicles. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't taken the chance to subscribe to my channel and look around on the content, please do that right now. It significantly helps the channel, and if you enjoy what I have to say about vehicles, SUVs, sports cars, and things of that nature, then this is definitely the right channel for you. So today I want to discuss the INEOS Grenadier and its close relationship to the McLaren F1. I think the INEOS Grenadier and the McLaren F1 are actually very similar in the way that they have been developed. Now here's the first reason. The way that the car was developed was under the vision of a very rich man or a person with significant power and influence. Now the guy who developed the INEOS Grenadier is Sir Radcliffe. He wanted to have the ultimate SUV. Now let me explain. He wanted to have the ultimate SUV because his Land Rover Defender was becoming an aged vehicle. And he was very upset that the Land Rover Defender was no longer going to be developed. So he asked Land Rover for a chance to buy the tooling so he could continue to develop the vehicle. And Land Rover said no. So now we have a grudge match going on, right? Sir Radcliffe wants to build his own car under the name INEOS. INEOS is also a sponsor for the Mercedes Formula One team, so he's not a broke dude. Like, he actually has money and he wants to develop something that is going to be of a utilitarian basis. Gordon Murray, on the other hand, with the McLaren F1, wanted to develop a vehicle back in the 1980s and 1990s under the direction of Ayrton Senna with the Acura NSX. He wanted to build something that was going to be the ultimate road car. Now, does that sound very familiar? Sir Radcliffe wanted to build the ultimate SUV because he had a grudge match with Land Rover, and Gordon Murray had a grudge match with the entire sports car world because he couldn't find exactly what worked for him. And when he test drove the Honda NSX, or the Acura NSX as we know it in America, that was a revelation for him that he wanted to develop something that was going to be a little bit more, I guess, enticing for a different crowd. He wanted to build the ultimate, and he wanted to build the best, especially something with a V12 engine. He tapped into Honda first, and Honda was not willing to build him what he wanted under the exact specifications that he wanted in terms of size, displacement, and weight regulations. So then he started to look elsewhere. And this proves my next point. The INEOS Grenadier has a BMW power plant. What else has a BMW power plant? The McLaren F1. Now, granted, they're very different. In fact, one has half the power, one is turbocharged, and another is naturally aspirated. But the fact that they're sourcing from BMW makes them common cousins. The INEOS Grenadier is going to have a turbocharged inline six, an engine that I'm very familiar with because the BMW inline six is in many different BMW applications, including my E28. Even more significantly, the inline six has been used in the BMW M3. It's been used in many different cars over the years, and Toyota has tested the reliability of this inline six because they approved it on their stress test for the Toyota Supra. So we know that this inline six is a reliable motor. And the same thing happened with the BMW V12. Granted, it is a naturally aspirated V12 inside that McLaren F1, and it's one of the greatest engines of all time, the S70. But it is a motor that was tried, true, it's been tested, and the INEOS Grenadier and the McLaren F1 both have BMW power plants. That's their second common thing. The other point that I want to make is it has its British origins. Sir Radcliffe is from England. Gordon Murray is not from England, but he did develop McLaren's Formula One prominence and dominance over the 1980s, and the McLaren F1 is considered a British sports car. So there's that British connection. The last point that I want to make is about the Formula One success that has been able to drive wealth behind the development of these brands. The Formula One success that Gordon Murray experienced allowed him to really develop the McLaren F1. And the McLaren F1 is considered one of the greatest sports cars of our time after the Ferrari 250 GTO. And the fact that it won Le Mans on the first try in 1995, after many privateers had urged for McLaren to take this car on an endurance run, and they actually won. Rain was a big help. With the INEOS Grenadier, you're not going to see the INEOS Grenadier rounding the corners of Monaco. So that success with Ineos being an official sponsor for one of the most successful teams in recent history has allowed for Sir Radcliffe to really make a lot of money over the past few years, and it has allowed him to really funnel as much money as possible towards developing what we consider the ultimate SUV. In order to gain that title of ultimate SUV, only time will tell. But I'm excited for the near future, and we'll see what happens with the development of this vehicle. If you like what I had to say, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I look forward to your commentary. Take care, guys.